Uh-oh.
That's it right there.
Here we go. I think we need to add, I need to, where's, okay, why are we not on the stage, Tish?
I see us. Oh,
You do?
oh no. I'm looking at
I see
IG.
us.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Good afternoon. Good evening. We are live. And we hitting it with some, oh, wait a minute.
Luther.
Some Luther. We have to slow it down a little bit. Because we bad. We are
Oh
bad.
yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. All right. All right. Wow. Happy Monday, everyone. As Tish would do
We
with the
made
hearts.
it.
Hello, hello, and hello.
We made it.
Hey, Heather, we here. We in the house. Wow. It's Monday again. Oh my goodness.
Again.
Oh my goodness. Monday again. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Oria's O'Shea podcast, where we have so much fun every Monday talking about everything that begins with H and end in R. Yes, that is my saying. So please put that on my tombstone because I need that. Put that right there. My kids already told them. She talked about everything begins with H and end in R. Yes, yes, and yes.
Pardon.
So we come on every Monday, me and Letitia Allen Joseph, and we talk about hair and skin because at the end of the day, that's what we're known for. I mean, they don't know us for our kids because they don't sit in the chair to find out about our kids. They sit in the chair to find out how can you help me with my hair. So guess what? That's what we're known. We're known as hairstylists. Me personally, I do not have a salon anymore. I used to have two. And one was adult salon and one was a kids salon, and then I had my own school. So I am a cosmetology barber instructor, but those are the things I don't do anymore. But I sell products like and as you can see, my 7 weeks is up. And I had to break it down and start all over again, but it was so good to me. Woo! Let me tell you, and it sold a lot of product this weekend. I was at an event
Very good.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and I didn't have very many jars because you bought all my stuff. So I took the last that I had, and it went just like that.
Good thing. That's a
They
good
were
thing.
asking for more. I had no more, and if
Wow.
you go on my site right now, it says I'm out of stock. And the reason I'm out
Okay.
of stock is because there's no more. There's
Gotta make some more.
no, you gotta make some more.
Gotta make some
So
more.
that's why I said I went to the chemist. I'm having them break it down because I know I have a hit. And y'all not gonna keep me up at night like I used to do with the Rears Shea before I got a manufacturer for the first 3 years. Make a product at night and doing the demos during the day. I'm not doing that. I'm too old for that now.
They've been there,
So
done
I have
that.
yes. So I have a manufacturer that's going to be looking at my products and a chemist looking at my products, breaking down what I did, duplicate what I did, and then, I'm gonna have to probably go get a bunch of it and what to say, put it in the back of the trunk and drive
That's
around and
right.
sell it my money back. But if
Back
that's
truck
what I
hustle,
gotta
baby. I'm
do,
a firm believer.
listen, I'll be right there. And volume,
You know
everybody will
all
have
about it.
a curl. Everybody be curling this up. I love it. And hello, everybody. It's a whole bunch of people on the night. Hey,
Hey,
hello.
y'all.
So, but I just want to say thank you guys for joining us. We always got something to talk about. Like I said, me and Tish, we could talk from here to the moon. We could talk from tonight and not even finish next Monday. That's how much we talk about hair. I mean, because we love our profession and we have examples, we got testimonials. We talk about our
Life
own hair,
experience.
our own
Life
skin. So,
experience.
yes, just wait. That's why we got 50 plus years of experience. And that's why I enjoy talking with her every Monday because there's always another angle. It's always another angle. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We just talk about our experience. And it
Yes.
might not be for you, or you go to your stylist and you say, hey, you know, She said it and do okay, fine, that's okay. We're just telling you through our experience what
That's right.
we dealt with and how our results on and how we dealt with our issues. And if you look at us, it's working. I have
Yeah.
hair, she got hair. That's number one. Number two, our skin is clear. Her skin, my skin is clear, her skin is clear. That's number two. Number three is we have 50 plus years of experience. That's number three. Come on now. Where are you going to get all that from? We're
Right.
we're bringing it to you.
Right.
So I'm just saying, y'all, thank you so much for joining us every Monday night. And those of you who have transitioned from Instagram over to YouTube, I appreciate you because when we be showing the slides, like we're going to be showing them tonight, you won't be able to see all the things we're going to be talking about. But yeah, so that's what we do every Monday night. I am the CEO of Oria's O'Shea. I put this podcast together because I felt there was more information that people need to know from the beginning, not in the middle, not towards let's just put a protective style. We don't have time for that, girl. Let's work with it. No, I need for us to go all the way to the beginning of how everything started. And we break it down here. So if you was here last weekend, I'm still in the weekend. If you was here last Monday and the Monday before then, we talked about the hair anatomy and we broke all that down. So tonight we're going to keep it moving because last week we talked about the vitamins. Tish bought on, we talked about her vitamins. Tonight we're going to be talking about minerals. But before we get there, we're going to bring Letitia in, let her introduce herself and her salon. So therefore you know how to find her because if you have more questions that you need to have a consultation with, Letitia can do it for because she has a salon. Me, I would have to put you in a suitcase and take you with me, or I'll have to meet you around the corner. We don't need to do all that. She's stable. She's you can actually go to her, and then on top of that, you can keep going back. You to go back to her. Me, I got to meet you around the corner. Like remember, Tish has to meet you around the corner, drive up the product when I
That's
come from
right.
North Carolina.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
no, that I'm a drive by. You don't need me. Now, if you got a question, you can call 877-393-1818. I'm with you. I'm right here. But baby,
Mhm.
you cannot sit down and talk to me because at any given time, you don't know where I might be. I don't even
Now
know where I
that
might
that'll
be.
preach that. That's her. Miss Busy Bee. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for that. Lovely as always. But yes, we are dealing with a busy bee here, and it's exciting to watch someone truly enjoy their journey. You know, I people say that about me, but I can truly say that about Maria. She is a doer, and that is to be respected, and it is an honor to be here tonight because we launched this almost a year and a half ago. I was sharing our promo ad with a friend because they sent me a podcast from two sisters from overseas. They were from London and they were sharing their experiences. Yes. And it replicated what we were doing. And I said, well, you should join in tonight on YouTube where Maria and I have been doing this for over a year and a half. And when I heard myself say that,
Yes.
I was like, it'll be 2 years in October, right? That's
Yes.
insane. That is
Yes.
insane. I'm
Yes.
like, we're almost there. So,
Yes.
it
Well, that's
tickles
right.
me.
Amazing.
Yeah, the time
And
and
we
how
just
fast
did
it
this
goes.
just playing around. We didn't
Yeah,
really,
listen,
we just was just
time
saying,
flies.
what
What's the
can we
old
do?
adage? Time flies when you're what? Having fun.
Having fun, and
So
we having fun.
we this is definitely fun for us. So even though we're tired and busy and have active lives, we take the time out to do this for you every Monday. So um,
Yes.
we're grateful together, and
Every
we're excited to bring
Monday.
this to you tonight. And without being further ado, I am Letitia Allen Joseph, salon owner of Savvy Elite Hair Salon, located in Tyrone, Georgia, where we've been servicing the community, my staff and I, for over 8.5 years, and so going on 9. And so it's been truly an honor and a privilege to be in the community of beautiful people. Listen, I'm from the DMV and I came here and said, I'm not doing hair in Atlanta. I'm from the D. Oh, no, ma'am. And I had other plans. And like you said, when the new chapter is being written, you got to comply. And so when that chapter began to rewrite
Exactly.
itself, and I began to to enjoy the people and embrace the people here of Georgia. It was a totally different experience. However, it was one that I grew to love. I have an amazing melting pot, I should say, of clientele from all over, from California, Louisiana, the DMV, Chicago. Listen, they come, okay, and it's exciting to delve into their hair history, what they have experienced, and they tell me that they haven't had anybody to love on the hair the way I do. So that's a big compliment. So with
Yes,
that
it is.
love that I bring, from behind the chair, I also like to bring it for this podcast each and every month. So each and every Monday, rather. And it's been going on almost 2 years. So I think we need to
I
give
know
ourselves
we
some
having fun.
flowers, Miss Maria.
That's
How about it? How about it?
Yes, we do. And it all came from one interview on Fox News. I invited
Mm-hmm.
Tish on,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
she said, listen, can you bring somebody on that is got a testimony? I said, well, my girl Tish been doing, let me call her up. And she says, well, what is going to be a testimony? I said, well, I know she's using it on her feet. So had Tish, I had Tish send me pictures of her feet. And we sent them into the
With
show,
no
and they
problem.
were like, "Oh,"
Here you
they was like, "This chick is proud of her feet." And then she sent them in, and that's when she was like, "Okay, all right, she can have a testimony, but can she talk about her skin?" And I was like, and then
go.
she said, "She no." Tish said, "Well, I also use it on my skin," and that's when they said, "Okay, well, we'll leave the feet out, and you'll talk about the skin." And that was so funny. And that's how we end up on the. Well, I had already got accepted on the Portia show. I just wanted to
Yes.
bring somebody else. And I thought of her immediately, and I called her, and she was like, "Girl, you stop playing." When we showing up, we was on Fox, baby. You couldn't tell us nothing. What?
I said,
And
Maria,
we went
what
and
is
we
it? You
bought
said,
it.
girl, it was like Thursday. You was like, it's Wednesday. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was like on a couple of days. She said,
I
"Let me
was
see if
like,
I can move stuff around."
I gotta move clients around. Oh, I
Move
feel the kids
it around,
here.
baby. That's right. Listen, when God come knocking, and it's a real
No, look,
opportunity,
know that call.
just listen. What? Hmm.
We made it happen.
I wish you would call me with something like, say, you talk about Shaq outside. I would have forgot all about that. Shut this thing, close the thing, gone, boom, out the door.
I'll be
Like,
back.
where did she go, baby? Somebody said Shaq is outside looking for Maria Leader. I'll be gone. Bye.
That is
Hey,
hilarious.
you don't know. Listen, when is that opportunity gonna come again? When somebody will come, you say,
Listen, you
Tish,
gotta
let's
seize
go
the moment,
on
right?
that, right? Or do anything that's major. And that was major because we had millions of viewers. We didn't even
Mm-hmm.
realize when we did it, because off of that show, I made thousands of dollars just from the internet. I mean, just from
Mm-hmm.
the TV show. And
Being
the thing about
exposed,
it was
exposure.
crazy. The exposure was crazy
Mm-hmm.
because we
Mm-hmm.
we didn't realize it was just Fox. But then Fox was tapped into what is the other show they have? Fox Soul. Fox Soul covers,
That's
it's
right. We didn't know about
syndicated,
Foxhole. Yeah,
syndicated into Texas, Chicago. It was a couple, it's like
did
five
not
other
know that.
states. And we didn't know.
Did not
And I
know that.
started getting orders from all over these different states. And I was like, well, where is this coming? And that's
Wow.
when they said, oh, well, it's syndicated. And I said, you got to be kidding. They're saying no.
And then
So
it had repeats.
repeats. That's right. And then every time it got a repeat, I got more orders. I got thousands of
Mm-hmm.
dollars of orders. Boom, 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 boom. I knew when my phone, I'd be talking to the phone like ding, 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 ding. Orders was just coming in.
Mm,
Orders was
that
just
is
coming in.
awesome.
So I'm telling you, when the opportunity, this is the nugget for the night. When the opportunity drops, don't run from it. Now, I'm not saying all
Seize it.
opportunities is good opportunities, but I'm
Right.
talking about in your
Know the
field
difference.
and getting that
Know
exposure.
the
And yes, yes, because somebody
yes.
can come to our house and give you opportunity to say, I give you $5,000 when you go on over here and sit in this car. You like, why I'm sitting in the car? Just sit in the car. No, that's not a good opportunity. Do not go sit in the car for $5,000.
Be
I'm just saying.
careful.
Okay.
Use
So all
wisdom.
opportunities are good opportunities. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna leave that just right there.
They be like,
Okay. All right. Well, we have opened it up. Yes, we have. Oh, wow, wow. So yes, this is how me and Tish got together, and we've been together ever since. And now we get ready to get into what we have done and what we want to talk about tonight. Um, Tish, I'm gonna pull up your information from last week. Let's recap on the vitamins that you know
Hmm.
that you have in your product. Let me see if I
Yes.
can pull that up. If I could pull that up, and then that way maybe you can talk a little bit about. Oh, where you go? What I do with Tish? All right, I need to stop clicking buttons. Maybe I need to stop clicking buttons
Can you
because it's
hear me?
not working for me right now. I don't know what happened to my tweet. I need to leave this alone.
I knew you figured out.
Well, this is where we're gonna be right now, and now I need to make us. We're too close. All right, cool. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go and I'm gonna add this to the stage, and we'll start talking about the hair.
Hmm.
See if this is gonna act right. Let's see. It, uh, but we want to just talk a little bit about the difference between vitamins and minerals. That is what we what I speak about, and Tish, you have your journal, and I want to
Yes.
thank you guys all for y'all ordering the journal. I appreciate you. I break all this down inside the journal when we talk about the vitamins and minerals for the hair. All that's in here. So thank you, thank you, thank you again for purchasing my journal. I appreciate that, and your hair and skin is gonna thank you as well
Yes.
as Tisha is gonna applaud you and
Yes.
keep doing the right thing by it, and it will do the right thing by you.
Hmm.
But we talked a little. Tish talked about vitamins last week,
Oh yeah.
and because she has her own vitamin, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, Tish. But it's actually just did its own thing. Are you there? You still
Hmm.
there?
Oh yeah. I'm still here.
Okay, it's doing its own thing. So Tish, I want you to go in a little bit and talk about your vitamins, and then we'll
Yes.
start talking about the minerals together.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to share and elaborate on is the importance of supplements for the body. Um,
Hmm.
because as we mature, as we advance in our years, our bodies doesn't absorb and we're not eating all of the things that we need for our organs and everything to continuously be strong at its peak. So we use vitamins, we use supplements to help balance out what we're not getting from our foods. And so that plays a vital role, a very important role on the strength, the growth of hair, skin, and nails, the appendages of the skin. These are things that the body is going to naturally produce. However, if the body is not receiving enough of what it needs, you may have a weaker version, a thin version, a weak version of what naturally is being produced and pushed out from the body. I talk about the splits of the nails. We can't just walk
Hmm.
around with splits in your nails. You have to cut them, remove
Hmm.
them, file them. You have to groom them. Same with the
Right.
hair. You can't walk around with splits on the ends and all in the hair because it weakens it. It doesn't. It will not be at its fullest potential when it's weak, when it's split, when it's damaged, if you will. So vitamins can come in and help kind of repair, get the hair. I like to call it like the bicycle wheel. It kind of gets it chug a lugging and get it motivated and keeps it flourishing. The hair and nails and skin is was designed to protect. Okay, period. That's it.
Hmm.
Our eyebrows absorb what? Moisture,
Yes.
sweat. So it won't get into the eyes, right? And then
Hmm.
before it gets into the actual eye, then you have the eyelash. So you
Hmm.
got sweat coming from the scalp, hair protecting
Hmm.
the scalp. It drips coming to the brow. It absorbs. Then before it gets into your precious eyes where you can see everything, the lashes catch. All of these elements of hair is
Hmm.
designed to protect, okay? this protection helps govern so many things on the body. So when you're dealing with your hair, you want it strong to be able to do what it's supposed to do, what it was designed to do, protect the most precious parts of the body. Okay. And so when it comes to the nails, you can tap on your nails, you can peel things, you can, open up a tight knot. Like if your nail is weak, how many of you tried to open up something and the nails are so flimsy they just split when you try
Mhm.
to open up?
Right. And that
Yeah,
right.
that
Not
that
hard and
that
solid.
those strong
So
nails.
these some strong nails, baby, right here. Can you
That's
hear
what
it?
you can hear it click, 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 click.
Yeah,
My
that.
nails, my nails are strong, but they don't grow long. But it's seasonal. Like all of a sudden, I wake up and I have like 2.5 inch nails. I'm like, where they come from? In growth spurts. So my hair
Mhm,
does the same thing. My nails does the
mhm.
same thing.
Yeah,
However,
that's
when I'm on my vitamins, they're strong, radiant, and can withstand. So minerals also kind of complement the vitamins. They complement
yes,
each
yes,
other.
yes,
So you have
yes.
vitamins and you have minerals. Together,
Mhm.
they strengthen the hair, the skin, the nails. The
Yep.
biotin helps keep it strong. And then you have the organic elements and the inorganic elements. We learned about that tonight. The inorganic, it's just missing certain compounds, but it is a compound based in a chemical form, but it doesn't have the carbon. A lot of vitamins
Mhm.
have the carbon to kind of help go into the body and absorb. So these
Exactly.
things work interchangeably. Okay. So you want to have minerals, you want to have vitamins, and together they help produce the healthier side of oneself. And so you need these things in your food and your supplements. It's important. We're not just walking around here on a whim, hoping the body is doing what it's supposed to do. We have to give
Exactly.
it.
Now that you said a mouthful there on a
Yes,
whim. Well,
on a
I
whim.
ate this
Yeah,
tomato. I had a tomato yesterday.
I love tomatoes.
I said, and what else do you have with the tomato? Oh, well, girl, I don't eat tomatoes. That was a step for me. I said, okay, that's great. So when you going to eat another? Oh, I don't know. Well, when you going to eat another vegetable? I don't eat vegetables.
See, here we go.
Okay. Well, when last time you had some water? Oh, if it's in that soda or that I got that Starbucks, it's water in that. Isn't it? Can't you say that's water content? I'm tired of having these conversations.
Mm.
And um, it's not making me look intelligent. It's just making me wonder what I'm missing the boat here somewhere.
You're baffled
You
how adults
ask
are
me,
not giving the body what it needs.
right, but you asking me, you want you
Mm-hmm.
want what I have, but you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do what I did to get it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like success.
Yeah.
People want everybody's success, but would you? And we talked about this. I
Mm-hmm.
stress this all the time. Will you do what I do or
Yeah.
did to
To
get it?
achieve. Yeah.
Right? How?
Yeah.
I
What are you
mean,
willing to do? You
God only made one pair of shoes for me. He made these are my shoes. Nobody walks in my shoes. You walk in your own shoes. Now,
However,
what you do in your shoes
mm-hmm.
get you where you need to go. We can
Mm-hmm.
do that. We
Yeah.
both can go down the yellow brick road, baby.
Yes. Yeah.
We
And take
can.
notes from those who have had shoes that may be 10 steps ahead.
Exactly.
That's
So
a
when you
good thing.
ask me about my hair and you ask me about my skin, and I tell you what I did, um, even when I'm out being a servant to the public, far as doing my vending and meeting people, and it's just so funny, Tish, when I tell them, they say, "Well, what made your hair grow like that?" And I show them the Riz O'Shea. Wow, wow, you can put that in your hair. That's the first thing. Okay,
Yeah.
and I said yes,
Yeah.
because you can actually liquefy it and it turns into oil,
Well,
and you put on your
yes.
scalp. You can put in your
Mhm.
hair. Wow, I didn't know that, because you can put shea butter in your hair. I says, but it's not shea butter. It's a shea butter base. I have 13 different ingredients in this. Then
Mhm.
when you put it on their skin and it absorbs into their skin, they're like, oh, wait a minute. Wow. Wow. So that goes to show you what we was talking about, vitamins and minerals, how the vitamins is breaking down.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's where your organic comes from.
Yeah.
But then when you also, like Tish was saying, the inorganic, the iron that's in your body, those are things that you can pick up from different things, which we're going to break that down again more than that. But what I'm saying is the biggest thing is iron is in your water. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about that tonight. Water. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't drink your water, you're not going to get any iron. We talked about the chlorine in the water. Yeah, yeah, okay. Chlorine's in the water. We got that. But we're talking about the mineral that's in the water, period. You're
The
not going to
body
take that out.
needs. Right.
You need mineral. You need the iron that's in the water. Drink your water. That right there is that's a big component of the
Yeah.
mineral.
Yeah.
But you got to
Mm-hmm.
drink it.
Yeah. Got to get it
You
in.
can't wait till you get to the hospital and they hook you up to the bag and pump you with saline.
Mm.
Then you
Mm.
dry. What we say, Tish? You dry.
The
You
hot,
stuff
yeah,
it.
yeah, elasticity.
You ain't
Listen,
got no
no, no pop back, snap back.
you depleted. You are depleted. You get to that
Right.
point where you dried up like a raisin. Your stuff is. Come on now.
Mm,
So
mm,
we
mm,
we
mm.
I told Tish this is important to talk about because for some reason people realize that a vitamin and mineral are two different things. They probably think, well, some people think they're the same thing, and they're not. They're not
Right,
the same thing.
right,
And
right.
you
They
need them for
interchange, but
different
they're
reasons.
not the same.
Yes, they're
Mm-hmm.
not the same. And we already just told you a vitamin is not water. A vitamin is in the mineral category. And if you're not drinking no water, that means your mineral category is very slim. That means your iron is off, your
A lot of people have
magnesium is
iron
off,
deficiencies.
your zinc is off.
Mm.
You just off because you need those minerals. Oh Lord Jesus, you making me feel I'm going back into the school. All right,
Wait a minute, you said you just
folic
off.
acid.
You just off.
Yeah, yeah, you got me off. Yeah, you got me off. But I'm back on now. All right,
Okay.
so Tish, folic acid. We
Yes.
talk about it, but people don't realize how big this is. And this is a
Mm-hmm.
B9. I didn't know a B9. Everybody, oh girl, somebody hit me with the 4C. We got to come back to that. Hopefully, we can get
Okay.
to the end. She hit me with 4C this week, and she said, because you know I'm a 4C.
I know you took a
I
deep
grabbed
breath.
the journal. I grabbed the journal. What page
Okay.
number is this? Page two. I don't know. Page two. I said,
Okay.
baby.
Yeah.
She said, "Ooh, I'm not a 4C." I said, "No, baby, you're not. So you're gonna stop playing with me. Get the journal, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Get the journal. Amazon, your hair, dirty little secret, and
You're
how to
grateful
make
for
it
the journal.
healthy again.
Yes.
So we're talking about B9. And we were asking
Mm-hmm.
somebody what is a B9. They were like, what is a B9?
Right.
What is
Right.
that?
Right.
They have
It's
no
your
clue.
B9 is your folic acid that helps also the growth of the hair,
The
but the
cells. That's right, the
cells,
cells.
the cells.
You
Yes.
gotta have cells. They just,
Yes.
we talk about the root, we talk about the follicle, we talk about the
Mm-hmm.
cuticle, the medulla, the cortex. We talk about all that. But
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have something that's gotta still start. Now we
Yes.
talk about the cells. You
Yes.
gotta have the
Yes.
right cells to make
Mm-hmm.
the root, so
To
the
make it
root can
all
grow and
stick.
da da da. So all these components. That's why we keep telling y'all drink your water.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. The cell life needs the water
Hmm.
to activate and do all what it needs to do. Every component
Exactly.
has a job to do, you know.
Yes.
And as do us. We have a job to do. We got to restore the body, replenish the body. Don't let the body be depleted of these minerals and these oils, because then you find yourself working backwards,
Backwards.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Constantly having to go back and try to repair something that you could have just been doing consistently the whole time. So
Hmm.
it is important, if you're going to partake, make sure you add your water back in, because it is important, because we dehydrate ourselves so much just
Hmm.
in life, and depending on what your
Hmm.
job is, your work, your environment, where you're operating, you'll be surprised on how you deplete yourself just from your normal day-to-day um, habits and work environment. So you constantly, if you're not eating right, then you
Hmm.
got to add the supplements back into the diet, right?
Right. So we talk about the folic acid, and now we're going to talk about vitamin
The B.
B7, which is
Mm.
biotin.
Mhm,
We keep hearing
mm.
about, oh, buy the biotin, biotin for the hair,
Right.
biotin. Yes, biotin. But this is what we need to stress this tonight. We're just going over these things that your body needs.
Mhm,
But when you see titles, when you see names of products that have this, you need to do your research because
mhm,
it could be. I know some products right now that is people are believing into this. You got to do this biotin. My hair is growing. It's ridiculous. How long it's growing? Da, da, da. You have to go back and look at your ingredients because FDA is
mhm,
required, or it's required. Period. If you got somebody
mhm,
doing your products,
mhm,
the larger components is at the beginning.
mhm.
The smaller amount of the component is at the end.
Very true.
So if you buy something that says biotin and you pick it up and it's got water, it's got chlorine, it's got something, vitamin E, and then it says biotin, that means you're only getting a percentage
At
of
a
the
very
biotin.
small percentage.
So you're buying stuff that you're saying is making your hair grow. And I'm not saying it's not, but this is what I'm going to say to you that I can say because um Rogaine is a perfect example of this.
Mm,
Once you stop using that product, the hair stopped growing.
mhm,
And I can say
mm,
that for a fact. I never tried it. Honest, I never had hair issues like that. And when I did, I created my own product. But I know people who buys Rogaine because they say, Maria, it really does help my hair grow. But
mhm.
I have found the minute I stopped using it, everything just
Yeah,
dormant.
yeah.
So why is that?
Well, the one thing I can say, because I have had clients and relatives that's on it,
Mhm.
what it's doing is reducing the inflammation around
Amen.
the
It
the,
is.
the scalp itself. So
Tell
in
it, Tish.
certain
That's it.
areas, and
Mm-hmm.
if you have inflammation, if you're applying the Rogaine, it's relieving some of that inflammation so the hair can come through the scalp.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's inflamed again, that follicle cannot push through
That's
what
right.
is inflamed.
That's
So
right.
the minute you stop taking it, the inflammation comes right back.
Back. That's right.
So it's keeping the inflammation at bay.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be stimulating you from inside the body. So
Mm-hmm.
internally,
That's right.
that hair
Listen.
is doing what it's supposed to do. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's trapped from the
It's trapped. That's
outer
right.
exterior, then it can't push forward.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on what your body is dealing with, um, I try to use, when I deal with my African American community, I talked about keloid skin. We all can,
You know it.
kind of
Yes. That's
we
right.
know what
We can relate
keloid,
to
that
that. Yes.
that
That's right.
layering of the skin after a
Uh-huh.
cut or a bruise, it kind of
That's right.
seals over itself
Mm-hmm.
and it has a shiny consistency.
Yes.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
my friends, that's is pretty much what's happening on the scalp surface.
Yes.
It's like a sealant forming over
Mm-hmm.
the layer of skin of the scalp, and that
Mm-hmm.
Rogaine is kind of slowly relaxing that shine, that texture, that seal,
Yep.
trying to reopen
Mm-hmm.
what is
Yep.
sealed. So the minute you stop using it,
Mm-hmm.
the sealant starts to activate itself
The
again.
spirit
And
goes right back.
yes,
That's right.
smothering
Mm-hmm.
anything underneath trying to come through the surface. Yes.
And
So,
that's something that, right.
whew,
And that
it's
and that is something that what she just gave you is absolutely right. It's just like us. If you think about inflammation in the scalp, when we're overweight, when we're obese, we're
mhm,
inflamed. Our body, especially around our gut area, is inflamed
mhm,
with something, and you
mhm,
got to figure what that is. And once
right,
you control that, you can control your diet, you can
mhm,
control your weight, your skin,
mhm,
all of that. But you got to find out that's what it is. I mean, my
mhm.
nutritionist said, "Hey, it's
Inflammation.
inflamed right now. You got inflammation. That's not fat. That's inflammation, and you got to figure out what that bad gut health is, and you need
Mhm,
to correct it." She just told you directly. That's why when you buy these products and your hair is growing and growing and growing, oh my God, oh girl, I got hair. And then the
Mhm.
minute you stop using it,
Mm.
oh, it, it don't
There's a
feel the
problem.
same. It don't
Right.
look the same.
It's like
Okay, and it's like
stagnation
broken the
happens
same.
because that's what's happening.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hats off to Rogaine. They figured out
Mhm.
something that it's just like addicted drug. You're gonna have to continue to use it if you want to see
Mhm.
results.
Yeah. Yeah. And all of the Rogaine is cousins of products, you know,
Hmm.
that's doing the same thing, you know, trying to
Exactly.
reduce inflammation is huge in this country. Alopecia is a form of being inflamed
Yep.
areas and
Hmm.
causing nickel size, dime size. We learned in cosmetology school it was
Yeah.
quarter size bald spots.
It's
Um,
not no more. It's you
and
right. It's
yeah,
done.
there many
It's like a
different
hand.
sides.
Some
Yes,
places just a whole head.
the
You
dominant
hear people
whole
talking
half
about
side of your head, you know.
yes,
So
yes.
there's so many different types now. Um, the one that most recent that's coming out very common is called androalopecia, which is
Hmm.
pretty much a male pattern baldness.
Yes.
Um, temple areas, right here, the front, all this area, the thinning here, the crowning, where it's like you're a man, like the
Hmm.
receding of the hairline. These things are running prevalent in our women,
Hmm.
and before, it was normal for men to go bald. Men are not happy with this. They
Hmm.
want their hair, they want their hairline. They're fighting just as much as females to figure out how can I keep my hair. And
Yes.
so once again, putting the right nutrients and minerals in
Yes.
your diet,
Hmm.
um, daily, okay, and making sure you're consuming your clear water.
Water.
I
I'm
mean,
telling people don't realize how oh, oh my goodness. Men, if you don't drink your water, it really messes with your kidneys. It really messes with anybody, it messes with your kidneys. But I'm telling you,
mhm,
men, and I can speak from, like I said, life experiences dealing with even my sons. They're like, Mom, we don't drink water. Our urine is dark. You can
mhm,
feel it like your kidney, like you having your
mm,
kidney is hard back here. You have to, and that affects thinning of the hair. My youngest son was like, Mine was thinning, and now I got hair, and his father got hair. There's no thinning. Where you come with thinning? He started drinking that water. He don't have that problem anymore.
wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm,
Water, because he was just drinking sodas. He was just drinking,
ah,
he wanted that sweetness. And
mm,
I'm like, baby, you gotta start drinking the water. He started drinking that water, and I haven't heard him say anything about no thinning no
wow.
more.
Very
Yeah,
good.
but the body wants what you say, Tish. The body wants what the body wants, and if you
Yes.
don't give it to it, then it's
Mhm.
gonna shut down.
It's
And
gonna
these
shut down and
vitamins
shoot.
we're talking about right now, and these minerals, you gotta do it. You
You
have
got
to
it.
do it.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it. If you want the positive results.
Right.
And that's the whole point.
Because you
Yeah.
and right, and you have to if you have to do give the body what it needs to build
Mhm.
up the
Mhm.
cells to produce the blood to the root
That's
to
right.
move up the strand, the follicle out, the
Right.
strand on the top of your head to make that strong so it
To
flourish.
flourish. Yes.
That's
Yes.
I mean, it's just like it's a plant.
Mhm.
Just think about it as a plant.
Absolutely.
If you don't
Yes.
have the right soil for your plant, it's
Mhm.
not gonna grow. If you don't
That's
water it, it will not grow. Listen up.
right.
Water it. I'm still
Mhm.
saying water. I didn't say pour milk in it. I didn't
Right.
say pour soda in it. I said water it.
Mhm. And
So,
sunlight. Remember, stop suffocating your hair. We talked about that. You can't
mm,
keep smothering
oh
and
my goodness.
expect it to be
Oh my goodness.
resilient. We
Oh my
talked
goodness.
about that. And then
Mm-mm.
you wonder why you wore your weave for 2 years, and then when you take it out, you think your hair is supposed to be amazing because you've been protecting it. No, you've been suffocating it. So you cannot do that and expect the hair to be amazing. And if you do it for 2 years, you need to leave it off for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Let the hair
Mm-hmm.
rehabilitate itself.
I'm I met a young lady this past week, and she says, "Yeah." She says, "My daughter suggested I get these braids," and she was older. And I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "So how long have you had him?" And she says, "Oh, she don't let me keep him that long. She just said, Ma, only about 3 to 4 weeks. I got to take him out." I said, "You got a great daughter. I don't know where she learned that
Mhm.
from, but you got an excellent daughter. She did her homework because I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
that is not good. And that, like I said, I wish I could play the video that, but I did put, if you go to my YouTube channel, I did add it
Mm-hmm.
in the comment, and I also put it on my YouTube channel and talked about the braiding hair, how
Yes.
the synthetic hair is really
Mhm.
damaging, which we always knew that, but
Yeah.
we didn't know the cancer causing piece.
Right.
We always knew that that synthetic will cut that
Mm-hmm.
human
And
hair,
dry it out and break it off. And
all
yeah.
kinds of stuff. We already know that.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that you can't have it. Nobody's saying, it's just like my in my nutrition class. They don't say you can't have food. You can, matter of fact, they want you to eat. It's what you eat.
Right.
So you
And in
just need to do
moderation
what,
on
right.
how much you consume.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to find out exactly what kind of hair you're buying. And if you want those kind of styles, you need to know the limitations, because you
Yes.
don't get braids in your hair and stay in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 months. That's not how that goes.
No.
And Letitia has told you here on the podcast, if you get braids, 3 weeks is you really should be your max, or
Yeah.
3 weeks should be your minimum. 4 weeks you need to be working your exit plan to get them out,
Yes.
because that's long
Absolutely.
enough.
That's right.
That's long
That
enough.
is absolutely correct. Yes.
But people not trying to hear that, because the first thing they said to me is, "But it costs so much
Right.
to get it done, and I
Right.
sit there so long to get it done, and you telling
Mm-hmm.
me this stuff?" I says, "But baby, that's the price of beauty.
That's right. It's on
Not
repeat.
get a front lace and put it in your hair and expect that front lace to stay on there. How long this? 3 months,
Yeah.
4 months, 5 months,
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
months, 7 months, eight, nine."
Yeah.
And I've seen people, they go and get it shampooed. They keep it in, they get it
Oh yeah.
shampooed and restyle all over again and do not take it off.
That is correct.
And they
Because
want to
they
know
want
why
to make it last.
you.
Mm-mm. No.
These styles are not for you. That's why we just talk about healthy hair, because I don't
Yes.
want to get. I'm not worried about stepping on nobody's toes, because you're either going to get it or not going to get it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not even worried about that. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying is, if you're going to do it, there's always a smart way to do it. That's
Yes.
all I'm saying.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
not judging. I'm
And
not judging.
wise. We have to be wise with the choices that we're making because we don't want our beautiful women trapped. And I use that term because I've witnessed too many amazing women be trapped under
Hmm.
those weaves. They
Track.
want to come out, but they can't because
Hmm.
they have abused the privilege of being able to give themselves a break a couple months here and there, but they turn into years. And then the hair is so thin. It's like you're looking at their like a chemo patient because they
Yes.
have weakened all of their resources right in the
Yes.
crown. It
Yes.
was weakened, it's gone,
Hmm.
it's been withered away, and now
Hmm.
they cannot expose their head. So
No.
they're
Oh
forced to
no.
go back to the weave. It's a sad case. And I hate to see women when you say, I have no
Women
choice
come.
because of the choices that I
Hmm.
made when I was younger. When I was in college, I was doing this, I didn't have time for my hair. And this is all I could do. And next thing you know, 15 years have gone past, you know, and then they can't, and they're
Hmm.
young, you know. We know now 40 is very young. You graduate from college, you're 24, and because of your life like studies or what have you, you're bound to your studies depending on your profession. Next thing you know, you're 40 years old, coming up for
Hmm.
air, and you've been neglecting your hair, and now you can't expose it
Hmm.
because it's nothing there. You know,
Mm-mm,
it may be like I've
mm-mm,
seen the clown. I call it the clown syndrome, where it's nothing here, but they have hair from here down.
nothing.
You know,
Mhm.
what good is that? You
And
know,
then they sit in your chair and said, "What can you do?"
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's the dilemma.
And
And so,
and the pre-diagnosis from people. "Oh, I have alopecia." Who told you that?
mm-hmm,
"Oh, well, my sister said," "No, no." Who told you that?
mm-hmm.
Well,
Was that
my
properly
friend, no.
diagnosed?
Who's right? It's, so you guys got to listen. Drink your water. That's number one. Number
Mm-hmm,
two, stop diagnosing yourself or
mm-hmm,
going by what somebody else said. If
mm-hmm.
you really want to know the truth, you're going to have to dig in your pocket You have to go to a dermatologist,
Mhm.
and she'll tell you if it's alopecia. Because
Oh, for sure.
sometimes, right? Because sometimes it could be just a topical product that you can
Mhm.
put on that stimulate the root and get the hair rejuvenated again, and it start growing. But you don't
Absolutely.
know that because you haven't given it a chance because you're too busy. You gotta go to the club. You too busy going out with hanging out looking cute for this guy that you running down behind, or male. You too busy running behind Sally. Sally is not thinking about you, and that's name her name anyway. And you're not taking care of yourself. You're doing the quick fixes. You're doing that microwaving with your hair.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you can't do it with your skin though, because one thing about the skin, baby.
Just gonna let
Ah,
you know real
well,
quick.
let me tell you something. Oh my God. I saw I saw a daggone video the other day, and I just wanted I wanted to go through the video and choke the
Uh-oh.
people. The
Uh-oh.
young lady had acne so bad on her face, it was horrible, and they
Okay.
were actually putting makeup on it, and people are screaming. They're in the comments, no makeup on it. I mean, because she was inflamed, you could tell she was inflamed,
Ooh.
and it
Okay.
was putting the makeup on it, and that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Because you have figured out how to cover up your mistakes with your hair that you did to
Mm.
yourself, or you participated in doing to yourself,
Mhm.
because some of y'all didn't do it to yourself. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
take that back. So you have gone to bad stylists, or you let your cousin
Mhm.
Pookie put it in, and whatever. Okay, so I'm with you on that. But what I'm saying is this: when it inflames on your scalp, and you think you covering it up by putting that protective style
Mm.
on it, but I'm telling you, if you don't fix this, it's gonna come here.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you, you're gonna start having, because when it backs up through your
Yeah.
skin. It's not backing up
Mhm.
on your scalp. Your
Right.
scalp is your skin.
Yeah.
So if
Mhm.
you
So it
don't
travels, it
fix
can move.
what you when I saw that young lady, I felt so bad. Like I wanted to get in there and I wanted to
Mm.
squeeze. I went into esthetician mode. I wanted to just pop all the pimples because I'm like, this is
Mm.
disgusting. Why would they do that? But see, with
Mm.
our hair, we figure that we can just put a scarf on it, we can put a hat on it,
Mm.
we can put a
Mhm.
protective style and nobody see. And then we
Mhm.
put the makeup on. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't solve one problem, it becomes two.
Mhm. It can manifest in so many different areas of the body, you know?
We're not on
Now
here
you're in
Monday night
panic
just
mode.
talking just because we ain't got nothing to talk about. We're telling you the truth. Telling you the truth. The omega,
Absolutely.
omega 3 fatty acids. You need that.
Yeah, the
You
healthy
need those.
fats.
Yes, you need the healthy fats to maintain the health of the follicles and back to get the cell membranes.
The
You
salmon
got
brain,
it's
that's right.
you need that. You need your salmon and your mackerel. You might not eat mackerel, but you need those things that's high in
The good fats, like
omegas.
avocados.
And
I like they have the avocado in there. I just got into
yes.
avocado for the last couple years. I love guacamole, but I wouldn't
Hmm.
do the avocado by itself until I had it on with like sesame seeds, and like I got it like minced it down really smooth, and then did it like a spread with like
Hmm.
a seasoned salt,
Hmm.
or like the sesame seeds. What is it? The everything, like the everything bagel. You know how they have all the
Hmm.
little good healthy seeds. Put that on the
Hmm.
avocado. It was amazing. So I started using that with a little balsamic glaze, and I got fancy. It was like um, the the base tomatoes. They're like stewed tomatoes, but they're kind of like sun dried. That's it. Talk
Sun
about
dried,
an
yes.
amazing
Hmm.
snack. You can have it
Hmm.
for breakfast. I mean, it's so good. But introducing different things to your body that's good for you, because we didn't know about healthy
Hmm.
fats until we start educating ourselves, because everything was that's no good for you. It's too much fat. But then you learn there's foods with healthy fats that it's good for the brain, good for the
Right,
hair, for the skin.
right.
And you displayed a beautiful
Hmm.
certain
Hmm.
almonds and
That's right.
certain olive oils, and like I said, the salmon is excellent uh, for omega 3, the fatty acids that are good for the
Hmm.
body. Um, so we have to dive a little deeper sometimes and expand and explore in our diet,
Yeah.
things that we didn't think we would ever include in our normal day to day. It can
Hmm.
really, really benefit us and the whole body and your taste buds. Like I said, I was like,
And
oh, I don't use
yes.
avocado by itself, but I found a
Hmm.
way, and it's amazing. So I dare you to try it.
Hmm. I have people that don't like mushrooms. They're like, I can't eat a mushroom. It really don't have a
Mm,
taste. But then but it's meaty, consistent. For me, I haven't had
mm,
meat since 2019. So a mushroom is my best
mm.
friend because I can
Okay.
fry it, I can saute
Mm-hmm.
it, and I can
Mm-hmm.
get that chew.
I see.
I can
I
get
see.
that
I
chew. You
enjoy
don't get
mushroom.
that
I don't
chew
want them
from
too big.
tofu. Right.
I like them tiny.
But
I
if
like
I
them
fix it
slice
for
and
you,
dice.
okay, all right. Well, look, your girl gotta hook it up and show you how
Okay.
it's like
Okay.
chicken.
All
My stomach is like,
right.
oh, oh, wait a moment, give
Okay.
me a little vibe of
Okay.
calamari. I said, I don't care what it give you vibe of. It's great for you. And
Oh,
the thing
yes, it
about it
is.
is, mushroom have zero calories. And no
Okay.
calories, and people don't realize that.
Hmm.
Okay,
No, I didn't.
but it's really
Hmm.
great. It's wonderful. Another source of protein, which is great.
Okay.
You got to have your
Yes,
mushrooms.
absolutely.
And the thing about it is, when you purchase your products, you need to see if they have omega fats in it.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
the omega 3 inside of my hemp on my
Mm-hmm.
scalp. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that was important to me.
Mm-hmm.
The hemp and oh, that's why, baby, that product grows hair.
That's right. That's one with the six major oils in it, right? One of the.
Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
It costs
Mm-hmm.
more because I invested more in it and finding out that these fats work because it's absorbed through to the
Mm-hmm.
root. It
Mm-hmm.
really helps stimulate the root and promote that hair growth.
Okay.
Um, Clay is a mineral that I love because I use clay in my protein mask. That clay is
Ah.
excellent for when you put it on that hair, it seals that cuticle, it breaks it down to where
Mm.
it's nice and soft and manageable. But it's a heavy conditioner that you can only like maybe once every, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks. But it's a deep conditioner. And you put it on and you put the cap on and
Ah.
do the heat and all that.
Okay.
But it leaves your hair feeling amazing because I
Mm.
put that mineral in there because I know that's something that we probably are missing.
Mm.
We're missing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I said a Rizzo shade don't have water in it, but I don't need for a Rizzo have or Rizzo shade to have water. I need you to drink your water and put the Rizzo shale on for the oils that you're missing. Those
Mm-hmm.
vitamins, I got you covered over here, but I didn't want no water because I didn't need it to beat up. Like when you
Right.
put a
Right.
petroleum jelly on your
Right.
skin and then you put
Right.
some water on it and you see
And
the
it
water
repels.
dancing across because it hasn't absorbed. Try that. That's
It
another
will sit there.
FYI,
Mm-hmm. It's just gonna
you
sit there
know. So
on the surface.
be careful. Just be mindful of the things that you're using
Mm-hmm.
in your
Mm-hmm.
body.
Yes.
And um we talk about vitamin A, C, and E. I mean, well, like I said, we had me and Tish, we really put our thoughts into this because we wanted you guys to be very, very sincere about how to take care of your
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
And
And
well versed.
these are the vitamins that Tish was talking about in her vitamins that she
Yes.
sell at her salon.
Yes. Yes.
So you need to have that. This is important for hair growth.
Yes.
And don't go out buying all this stuff. Some of the stuff you can eat. If
Mm-hmm.
you put that junk food away,
Mm-hmm.
those chips aren't getting, and that's another thing too. I love the fact that they say if you look at a pack and you can't not only pronounce what's in it, but you don't even
Yeah.
understand what's in it. You need to, if it's more than what it says more than 5 ingredients or something, you need to put that back on the shelf.
Oh yeah. The first five is salt and stuff you can't even pronounce.
Put that back on the shelf. And the same thing, I'm telling you, you guys, listen. This right here was interesting. Very interesting,
Selenium.
Tish. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize what it was until I started doing my research. And
Mhm.
people, I need you the simplest little nut that nobody
Mm.
really, really truly would think about. It has the most psyllium in it. It does.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you be amazed. Just one little nut, that's the
Mm.
highest.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, and I eat a lot. Oh, I love them. I love them so much that I had to just get off them for a minute because I'm a nut girl, and
Okay.
you eat all them nuts, you get bigger, bigger, and bigger because
Oh,
the
I
nut.
learned that the hard way.
Girl,
I was
I'll
on my
eat. I mean,
diet, and I was like, "Oh, I can have my little nuts." Man, I was bloating up. I said, "What?"
yes, that's what do that to you. Yes, yes, yes. But you want to have them, just a little bit of them. And the Brazilian nuts, believe
Okay.
it or not, carries the
Hmm.
most
Hmm.
psyllium in it. And I'm telling you,
What
it
do they
is.
taste like? The Brazilian nut. What
Oh, I
is
love it
the?
so meaty. The texture
Is it?
is, of course, as hard as a nut, but it has a meaty texture to
Hmm.
it. And
Okay.
that, like I said, when you don't eat meat, you be looking for things.
I see.
And when you see people that's a little on the obese side and they say don't eat meat, that's because they're eating a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
So you got to
Yeah.
be careful with those carbs when because
Mm-hmm.
we get hungry. But what
Yes.
we need to do is we need to run to the protein, not the carbs, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what maintain. If you see a small person who is don't eat any meats and they say you're the vegetarian, they're eating a lot of protein. I promise you, they're eating a lot of protein because the
Okay.
carbs blows you up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you need to we just putting these little nuggets. We're dropping these nuggets for you guys
Mm-hmm.
tonight, but
Mm-hmm.
we need for you to follow up on yourself to see what you're doing. Even the iodine, oh my goodness, the iodine, you gotta have that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my Lord,
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows a lot of
Right.
the iodine comes from your leafy vegetables like your
Mm-hmm.
collard,
Mm-hmm.
kale, all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course your seafoods.
Yes. Oh, seafood, my favorite.
Yes, 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 yes. Now, one thing I can't, and this is how deep this is for me. I'm allergic to lobster. I can eat every other shellfish, but not
Mhm.
the lobster.
Hmm.
And it's actually detrimental. I need to carry EpiPen. That's
Oh
how bad
wow.
it is. Yeah.
Hmm.
But let me tell you why I'm allergic to lobster. So the last episode I had, I was dehydrated there. I went to the hospital. I had to, fill me with fluids because I was just depleted. I always was given to leave the face of the earth because each time I ate it, it got worse and worse and worse.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
But this is why iodine I know is important in your body. The reason I can't eat it is because I know everybody know what a lobster is. When you look at the lobster, it's green or blue or whatever, wherever you get your lobster from. But when you cook it, it's red. So what turns the lobster red?
The hot water, from my understanding, the
The
heat.
iodine, the iodine in the shell.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Okay.
And because my system was loaded with iodine, I have so much in my system,
Mm.
and the lobster was loaded with it. They says that's why I cannot. Usually, when you're allergic
Hmm.
to something, it's an overkill, it's an overload,
Okay.
and
So,
I get a lot of iodine.
okay. Wow.
Yes, so that's why. So I got some iodine. I'm good. That's probably why my nails are strong.
That's
That's
probably
probably why
exactly.
my hair grow because I'm full of iodine. If I got nails, I got that.
Mm.
So, but I'm just telling you, Tish, we got to listen, girl. We have. I told you we could talk. Look at
Yeah,
the
girl.
time.
This is loaded.
Look at
This is loaded.
the time. Ladies
9:59.
and gentlemen, I'm gonna stop this right here because we
Wow.
girl
Dropping all
what
kinds of good
what
nuggets. Wow. We have come
oh
to a conclusion and a
we
close,
had back
unbeknownst
on the
to us.
screen. Fish. Wow. Oh wow. Wow, wow, wow. What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, we get ready to shut this thing down.
Mm,
Amazing. Well,
amazing.
ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for part two because we're
That's
not
right.
finished. We still
No.
gonna do a deep dive. Matter of fact, we're gonna come back with you so a little bit more information
Mhm.
next week. But with that being said,
I'm gonna let
we
Luther
want you
tell
to
us.
go out and have a good week. Like I said, we have. If it's more information you need, just come back and review because y'all reviewing because I see my views. So y'all are definitely watching us. So I just want
And
to say
thank you
thank
for
you
that. We
and always
appreciate it.
feel free to jump in. This is a real
Yes.
estate podcast and we see you next Monday. Same time, same place.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
guys. Good night.
Good night. That's a jam.